zone. I wanna be one of the greatest that ever made it, one of the best that did it, coming with it. Understand this is all I think about, all I ever wanna do, all I ever work for. So ain't no giving up, and us to the limit, just to win it is a must. Now you see what it takes to be on top, don't stop. Now you see what it takes to be on top, don't stop.
Bryant for the win. He is a remarkable talent. I mean, he got into one of those zones, and I've said it many times. It's all right for regular players to get in a zone, but when you're the best player and you get in a zone, that shouldn't be fair. And it wasn't fair.
Access, watch the progress, can't be done, man, I'm the champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Worldwide Laker Talk. Shout out to Worldwide Laker Gang for Life. Everybody here joining us for the show today. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Yesterday was a letdown. We lost to the Denver Nuggets. Game 3. I think we lost by 8 points yesterday. We came out flat, didn't have the energy that we needed to have. And by the time we decided to play, you know, it was too late. And even when we got back, they were gassed. Like even when we finally got back, like you seen, I've never seen Anthony Davis walking up from a defensive possession to an offensive possession. He was walking up. But look, were the Lakers just off? Are the Nuggets fighting to keep from going down 0-3? A combination of both. How were the Lakers outplayed in the first 3 quarters? And then how did they make that comeback in the fourth?
I feel you said were the Lakers flat or were the Nuggets just trying to fight back from going down 0-3? I think it was a combination of both. Lakers kind of came out. I mean, beginning like you talk about all the time, Dame. Like we go off of LeBron's energy, and he came out pretty aggressive in the first quarter. I think he did. Yeah. But for whatever reason, that didn't translate to energy that we normally see. You know what I mean? Like you say it all the time, but for whatever reason, and it's true. But somehow, some way, yesterday I didn't see that same energy from other players when LeBron came out with that aggression. So that was weird. And then we knew that the Nuggets were going to come out and fight. You know what I mean? So nobody want to go down 0-3. So yeah, combination of the both.
Yeah. What about you, Quincy? What did you think?
Same thing. I felt that it was weird. I actually wanted LeBron to be a little bit even more aggressive, because I think it's something about when he's attacking that really gets them going. But yeah, Denver was playing for their life. They knew they go down 3-0, that was a wrap, and the Lakers played like a team that was up 2-0, and the energy, the intensity was slowing down. Just careless turnovers again. Our rotations was off. Guys was just lazy, rotating at times. And then 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they realized they were in a game 3 of the playoffs.
Right.
And you saw what happened once they go to bring the A game. But in the NBA, you trying to come back from 20 with 10 minutes left, that's going to take a lot out of you. And it did, especially a veteran team. We got some. I mean, we got some guys who got some mileage over there. So them really trying to put
and think about it. We came back twice. Like that's what a lot of people haven't been talking about. Like we didn't came back once. Yeah, we came out twice.
We came down from 16, then we came back down
from 20.
So
yeah, so that's hard. That's a lot of energy to expend. So look, I wanted to talk about this. Most times when you watch a game and you have a loss like this by 8 points or less, you would think that there's probably one thing you could point to. This game was a weird anomaly because I feel like there were like 4 things you could point to of why we lost. So let's go through the 4 things. The first thing, they beat the hell out of us in a rebound battle. What was that about? Talk to me, Eddie Jones.
I think a part of that is we getting caught on bad switches. whereas Rondo is on a post player and our big man is on a perimeter contesting shots. Well, if our big man contesting shots at the 3-point line, guess who's not by the basket, the rebound?
Right.
So we getting caught in bad switches, and then you look up, and there's Rondo down there trying to box out Joker. So that probably explains why they had 9 offensive rebounds to our 4. And then, a part of that, sometimes I think the Lakers tend to just rely on their size. And even though you're bigger than a team, you still have to box out.
Effort.
It still has to come down. I saw Jamal Murray grab an offensive rebound between LeBron, KCP, and I think AD. He just came and jumped between all 3 of them and got an offensive rebound. So guys not putting the body on people, but I think with our big man who had a combined total of 4 rebounds, I think a lot of that had to do with us getting caught in bad switches, and our big men are getting stuck on the perimeter, and then they not in position to rebound. But right. Guys still, with that being said, guys still have to go after the ball. Don't wait for the ball to come to you. You go get it. I mean, Dennis Rodman made a living doing that. Dennis Rodman be stuck on the perimeter. He is still find a way to go track the ball. So,
the GOAT.
So look, B-Red. I want to go to you on this point. Since he said, the rebounding was the issue. I want to go to you on the next point that we could have won. Because, okay, say we won the rebounding battle. We probably win the game. Like, even if everything stayed the same and we won the rebounding battle.
And one more thing. This is why rebounding is key to us. And I got this from Pat Riley. Pat Riley used to tell the Showtime Lakers, no rebounds, no rings. And the reason why he used to say that, because the Lakers relied on transition. Showtime relied on transition basketball. This Laker team is actually the best transition team in the league.
Yeah.
So if we don't rebound, we're not getting in transition.
Yeah. So we losing one of our biggest strengths.
Yeah.
Off top.
Right.
Okay. Right. So we say if we rebound, we win this game. Now take that away. We lost by 8 and we missed how many free throws?
I think 10. Was it 10 or 12? I forgot the stat.
We missed 8.
Missed 8? Okay, we missed. So we missed the number that we lost by. Okay.
We missed 8. We missed 8 free throws. Our free throws, and we talked about this. We said in close games, missing free throws is going to come back to bite you in the ass. And this was that game that it finally happened, because the other games we got away with it.
Well, game two, we went 18 for 19 from the free throw line.
And needed every one.
And that came down to an AD shot. So if the Lakers would have been on a regular 5, 6 free throws, 7 free throws missed a game, sometimes 10, that game not even close for AD to
shoot a Hail Mary.
Right.
So talk about what you see, Brandon, on the free throws and what do we have to do to try to fix that? Because I feel like that's a mental thing.
I don't know. It gets weird because AD is our best free throw shooter, and even he struggles at times. And I'm like, I don't understand if it's just a lack of concentration or they just missing. I don't know what it is. I mean, by the grace of God, we, like he said, we had that great game too, where 18 for 19. Because if we didn't have that, we would have lost that game, and we got helped out by I think, what was the rookie name that missed some free throws? Q?
Dozier.
Yeah, Dozier missed some free throws, so we got helped out in that regard. But also, I mean, I don't think they're getting to the line enough. Like, they're not being aggressive enough to get to the line. Can you talk to like that, Q? Like, why are we not getting as many free throws as we normally get?
Please talk to that.
Yeah, well, I think part of it is, so for a minute there we got hot from the outside. We got hot, shooting threes, and what tend to happen is, although we are probably the best team as far as scoring in the paint, because we got hot shooting threes, we tend to start relying on our outside versus continue to try to score inside the paint. I know Denver tried to do what everybody else had tried to do to us, is pack the paint. And we were still getting some decent looks. So the thing about Denver is they don't have no shot blocking. Joker is not really a good shot blocker to me. Like
no, he's not.
Like
they don't have rim protection at all on that team. Honestly.
Like you could challenge him, and so it's just a matter of KCP shooting 60% from three, so now he feels on fast breaks that he could just pull now. Like that's kind of the bad thing when you got, I think, a couple of guys shooting 40% from threes. So you got these guys that's hot from threes, but our game should be inside out, not outside in, because we still have two of the best paint scorers in the league. And so I think that, and then for some reason, we're not getting the calls, the same love that Denver is getting.
Yeah, can somebody explain it to me? Because can somebody explain it to me? Because I know a lot of people say the Lakers have not been playing aggressive, but I feel like when we were playing aggressive and they let us play aggressive, we were unstoppable, right? And listen, there was literally a play yesterday where Jokic was right in front of the referee and pushed Dwight Howard right in the back. Not a call at all.
Yeah,
right.
And that's a huge problem, because I thought the reason why we beat their ass in game one, because the referees let it be physical. Like, if there's any game where the referees just let us be physical, we're going to beat pretty much everybody. But because the referees, we're in a bonus at the 9-minute mark. How the hell a team is in a bonus 3 minutes into the quarter?
Twice in one game.
Yeah. Twice in one game.
That completely changes the way that changes your aggression and everything. So, I saw what Frank Vogel said that they have spoken to the powers that be about that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. He said, I saw that today. That I guess they sent some footage, some film to the NBA.
Because yesterday it was ridiculous.
The last time I seen the team in a bonus within 3 minutes into a quarter, that's when we had Shaq. And Shaq would just get fouls on people in 40 seconds. And then Kobe was allowed to go to work because the other team would be in a bonus at the 10-minute mark. And now you can't touch Kobe because he make free throws. Right. So, but Denver don't have no Shaq, so there's no reason why he should be in a bonus.
What's the guy? What's Jeremy Grant? I think he shot 12 free throws. Like, now we're not talking about Murray or Jokic. We're getting superstar treatment or foul call. We're talking about a role player that shot more free throws than LeBron and AD. So
26.
Yeah. So yeah, some of those calls. I think the one you were talking about was the one I was going to allude to, about when Jokic had pushed Dwight in the back. He pushed him in the back to get an offensive rebound, and Dwight there was no Dwight got the foul. I was like, I don't wonder how is that? You know what I mean?
There was another one at the end of the game in the fourth. I want to say was it Rondo or Kuzma where they got fouled too on the other end.
Yo, it was Rondo, man. It was blatant. That fool head jerked back. I was like.
Yeah, and they didn't call nothing. Like, everybody was in the blog, in the game blog, like, that's not a foul. And it was so ridiculous. And a lot of times I know we try to tend to stay away from talking about what the refs do, but like I said, in the penalty with 9 minutes to go more than once in one game is kind of ridiculous. And also, look, I don't mind if y'all gonna call it like that, but call it like that on both sides. If that's gonna be the way the game is called, because you're gonna tell me LeBron really only got fouled one time yesterday because he shot 2 free throws in the whole game yesterday. So when Jeremy Grant is shooting more free throws than LeBron, there were a couple of times where AD just went to the rack, they just pushed the shit out of him onto the ground. No call.
You know what that remind me of? You know how everybody say, well, the NBA cheated for the Lakers against Sacramento, that game 6?
Yeah.
But don't nobody talk about game 5 where the Lakers was cheated in Sacramento and Shaq had 1 free throw?
Yeah.
The whole entire game, Shaq had 1 free throw. It's crazy. You could really call every time LeBron go to the back, you could literally call a foul.
Yeah, he's getting touched damn near every time. He's gonna get touched.
He's getting touched every single time. So that's crazy. I didn't know that. LeBron only went to the free throw line once. Crazy.
He went to the free throw line 1 time yesterday. So this is what I want to talk about too, because I'm like, even with that, so now we on the 3 things, right? And the 4th thing, you get a random Jeremy Grant sighting where he goes for 25 points, and we still almost win this game. And look, do you think some of Jeremy Grant being able to get off like that was the fact that our players couldn't be physical with him?
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he got 12 free throws. That's going to help you. Anytime you see the Rock go through the hoop like that, just from the free throw line, that gives you more energy just on a regular offensive possession, because you're like, my points creeping up, and I ain't really did nothing, so let me go get in the bucket here. Let me cut a little bit harder here, whatever. And then Quincy has said this the last show about how Denver runs those back screens and setting picks for Jokic. So whenever Grant was coming setting the pick for Jokic, he cut into the rim off the roll like hard, like he ready to get that bucket because he's feeling it. You know what I mean? And he know he's getting to the free throw line or he's getting the bucket. So you playing that much more, with that much more aggression offensively, and if you're Grant, because you're getting those calls.
What do you think, Quincy? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, when you go to the free throw line, that's how you catch rhythm.
Yeah.
That's how you find your rhythm. It used to be funny because when teams used to do the hack and Shaq would miss those. He might be like 2 for 8, and then all of a sudden he started hitting like 8, 9 in a row. Because if you keep on going, you're gonna find a rhythm. And
hold on, I want to go back to this play. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see what happened to LeBron. Like, and there was a no call, like, just so people could see that we not just making shit up, and we can go quarter by quarter as well, as some people say you need to do, to talk about the discrepancy in fouls. I think it's the next. There was another one too where Rondo got knocked down on the perimeter. Like it was a clear charge. He's sliding on the ground. They just let the rest of the play go.
Well,
there you go. Look, another charge. And we talking about LeBron. Like, we talking about a star player, and he's not getting that call. Like, against who was that? Like, that wasn't even Jamal Murray. That was Jamal Murray.
That was Grant.
Right.
That was Grant.
Yeah.
Also, something that needs to be looked at is Jokic's footwork, man. He be traveling
all the time.
The moment he had one yesterday, he traveled so bad, man. Oh my goodness! Right in front of our bench.
Like when you get double team, you can't take 2 steps back without dribbling.
Yeah.
To create space.
Right. And he be changing his pivot feet. I think the one I'm referring to, he was changing his pivot feet right there, was spinning around right in front of our bench. And I'm like, dude, like, they not gonna call that? Like, that was crazy as well. So
all in all, sometimes, man, and I used to tell my team, look, if you go out there and you smack them in the mouth, you keep the game out the referee's hands.
Yeah.
And the Lakers, I mean, so far they have respond after losses like this. So I expect them to bounce back.
Yeah, well, let's get to before we get out of there. So now we said foul trouble was a factor, free throws was a factor, rebounding was a factor. With all 3 of those things, we were still in the game, which kind of gives me encouragement, because it shows you how good this team actually is and really can be, to deal with all of those things and be able to battle back twice from a deficit against those things. And like you said, Quincy, we were in the penalty with 9 minutes. Both of those quarters that they were in the penalty around 9 minutes and 33 seconds, we didn't get into the penalty till 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the quarter, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter, or 3 minutes and 40. I checked both times. Both times we didn't get nowhere near. We didn't get into the penalty until the quarter was damn near over. So you can't tell me that they're calling it the same both ways. Because that's too big of a discrepancy between the two squads and between the two teams. And then Jamal Murray and Jokic are really good at hitting some Hail Mary, Jesus Christ, save us all shots.
They be playing horse out there, man.
Like Jokic with that 1 foot rainbow. I'm like, I ain't nothing you could do about that.
Nah,
the one over AD, when AD played perfect defense, you referring to, Dame?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. That was That's shit Kobe used to do to Shane Battier all the time. Shane Battier put his hand right in Kobe's face, and Kobe J that shit. It was like, what can Battier do? Battier just walked back like ain't nothing I can do. Play perfect defense, and he's But Jokic is getting them lucky ones. He ain't really got the skill to just do that shit consistently. Because he did it again later on in the game and bricked that shit, and we got it. So, my thing with Jokic is that if you're letting him get those calls on top of like he's already a good player. He's already gonna get 20 points just off him being Jokic. But if the refs are giving him those calls, it makes it even more difficult to guard him, because then you can't be aggressive with him like we were in game 1, and we see how ineffective he was when you are aggressive with him and you kind of body him up. So you can't, you know what I mean? You can't already give him calls he's gonna get just by being as good as he is, and then expect us to be able to defend him. The refs are taking the Dwight out of the game in most cases before he can even get in.
Absolutely. And so
like Dwight is way too fit. Like he's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
and I was concerned about that. I was like, they calling it close. I was like, Dwight gonna get 3 fouls in 40 seconds.
Yep.
The first game, that was throwback NBA playoff. We gonna let them get physical. As I saw, Dwight was impactful. I mean, he was still somewhat impactful, but like I said, he's getting.
It's not the same effect when he don't get the. And again, like I said, if that's how they're gonna call it, fine. But don't let Jokic just push you in the back to get rebounds. Like not once, more than once. And it must have been bad for Vogel to actually, like you said, Vogel had to go take film, because I was wondering. I was like, because I know Phil Jackson would be like, we taking film and we sending this to the league. Like, yo, look at this.
Yeah.
Shit. This shit is ridiculous.
Well, Phil will say some slick shit, like not to get fined, but you know exactly what he's talking about. Like he had that down. Like he'll send a message, like, well, Vlade, I guess Vlade great because he shot 9 more free throws than Shaq.
But Mike Malone said something. Mike Malone said something after the first game about the foul discrepancy.
Yeah. And
things changed. That's why I was like, okay, if Mike Malone said something, we over here with 2 bona fide superstars and our coach is not saying anything, and it's ridiculous. Like when Phil Handy gets a tech, shit is out of control. Like shit has been ridiculous.
Right.
All right, so look, another point. Murray, he had 28 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. Jokic had 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Can we win if they continue to play like that?
Yeah. You can't give Grant 26 points. That's where the game was lost. He averaged 8 points in the first 2 games. So if he get his 8 points,
and the other guy, Grant and
Harris, Gary Harris, or
Harris, Grant and Harris.
It was Morris.
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 They combined for like 36 points. That can't happen.
The bench, right? Those are bench players, right?
Yeah. Morris had 14, which he tend to do that every now and then. We can live with that. If Grant put up his 8 points or his 8 to 12 points, that game was not even close.
Yeah,
he had 26.
Yeah,
right. But dude had 12 freaking free throws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even like he was just out there just hot, like he got hot from 3 or nothing like that. Shit, half of his points came from the line.
Yeah. So you take away his 26 points and bring him back down to where he needs to be, we win that game by 10.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we lost a game shooting over 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, that's like the second game this season that we lost shooting over 50%.
Right. So it's, like I said, it shows you there were a lot of factors. So with the rebounding, with the foul calls, with the even the lack of transition until the fourth quarter, like there were like so many things that we did that were out of character, but we still in the fourth quarter made a 21-5 run, cut the lead from 20 to 4, actually to 3 at one point, and we just could not get over the hump. We had 4 chances to crack it. four chances to crack that lead and didn't hit it. We had 4 empty trips down, and after that, they just opened it back up real quick with a couple of big threes from Murray, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we didn't have any answer for that. Like that last little run, I think we spoke on it before we came on the show. Just them being gassed, the Lakers being gassed, having to come back twice. That was their second comeback, and then we just kind of let Murray kind of hit those daggers, and Kuz hesitated. He got a look at a shot and kind of hesitated and shot it and missed it, and then Quincy talked about it earlier when KCP had a shot to tie it up. We were down 98-101. And KCP had an open look at a 3 and missed it. That would have tied the game. That would have tied the game, and that would have caused the Denver Nuggets to call a timeout. And think of, you know what I mean? And now they looking back up at the clock. They just lost the buzzer beater the previous game. That whole mentality is different. Them shots is a little bit heavier when you're going back down trying to, score at that point. So, all we just said that the Lakers had to overcome the 4 points you just made, Dame, all the stuff that you broke down right now, Q. We still had a chance to win that game if KCP come through hit that shot. So it's still, we can be very optimistic going into game 4, looking at all that.
Well, you're saying also we got to look at this because this is what can't happen again if we do want to win. Grant and Morris went, I think they were like 16 for 26, and Kuzma, KCP were 6 for 23, and Danny Green. Kuzma, KCP, and Danny Green were 6 for 23.
Right.
That can't happen.
Do you remember what Caruso shot last night? By any chance? I can't remember. I don't have my thing to bring it up. Q,
1 for 7.
Can you bring that up? Caruso, 1 for 7. I knew he had a bad night. That can't happen. Caruso going 1 for 7. Yeah.
1 for 7.
But that can't happen.
Kuz was 4 for 7. He was 1 of 2 from threes. Danny Green, this motherfucker right here. 1 for 4. 1 for 3 from 3-pointer. KCP, he was 5 for 8, 2 for 5. I mean, outside of Caruso, everybody, had a decent night. But just like I said a couple of shows ago, Robert Horry shot 30% from 3-pointer as a Laker, but it's when he hit them that matters. So because he hit them at the right time in the right moments, everybody think Robert Horry was like Steph Curry, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
he hit them at the right time, and despite his percentage, I mean, I just said KCP in this series was shooting 60% from threes.
Yeah,
but he missed that crucial 3, and that's where like our key role players in past championship runs. That's how D Fish made his name. That's how Horry. Hell, we go back further. Byron Scott, all those cats. That's how all those role players made their names because they hit those key shots at the right time at the right moment. And yesterday, Kuz and KCP had 2 good looks, wide open looks, opportunities that they got to knock down.
Yeah, and also Sam brought up a good point, and I want to ask y'all this. We found out we could zone them, and that really threw them off. And Rondo just went back to Celtics Rondo.
Yeah, that was 2008 Rondo right there.
That was 2008 Rondo. So do you think we see more zone going forward in situations like that, or do you think we try to stick to our usual plan?
Let me ask you a question real quick, Q, and then you can give your analysis on that. Is it better? Is the zone, as a coach, is the zone more effective when you spring it on the team? Like they're not expecting it, like we did last night, or should you start off on it, or is it just like you have to pick your spots when to use it, as opposed to just using it for a long period of time?
I think to me, I don't like zone being my primary defense. I think the way how the Lakers used it, we're just going to give them a new look and throw off their cadence. Here they are. They've been looking at film. They've been looking at this same type of defense for this past 2 games. Well, 2.5 games for the most part. Let's give them a different look, something that they haven't really seen on film. And obviously, it completely threw Denver off their cadence, their rhythm, because that's not what they expected was used to. So I thought he used it right. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't start off with it tomorrow. I just think they just need to start off just with intensity, period, on the defensive end. But I think when a real good time to use it is when they have Plumlee in, because they don't really have that passer in the middle like Jokic that could really bust your zone wide open. But I thought it was good because it worked because Rondo was putting so much pressure on the ball, and it was just where Jamal Murray thought he had passing lanes, that it was a Laker there. So to me, as a coach, I prefer to just kind of like throw it at teams when they don't expect it.
Yeah. So
and I think that's why it worked yesterday.
Sam said because they were catching us in mismatches, it threw them off. That was another thing. We kept doubling Jokic at the three. That was driving me mad. Do we fix that tomorrow?
Yeah, that's basketball IQ though, man. I don't know what the hell KCP was doing, because we don't. Why are we doubling him at the three, and then the person that he left open was Jamal Murray?
Yeah.
Like yeah. Now we just getting into common sense shit. Like,
yeah.
Nobody even have to tell you that.
You know what I thought was interesting though? Even when we ran that zone, there were times that Jokic would get right there in the middle of the zone with the ball and have KCP, Caruso, or Rondo on him, and he wouldn't shoot it. He wouldn't.
What happened? And I know one possession, the Lakers didn't discover Jokic can go left.
Oh.
And Rondo took away his left. He wanted to go right, and Rondo took it away. So he went back left, and he came, but Rondo wouldn't let him go right. That's when he kicked it out, because AD didn't picked up on it too.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Ish brought it up as well in the game blog that that they have discovered that Jokic's not that comfortable going left. So when Rondo took away his left, although Jokic was at the free throw line, he wanted to go ahead and use his size and take him to the rack, but Rondo took away his right side.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because I was like, there were like 3 possessions where he got it right there with a mismatch and couldn't do nothing with it. So I want to see if we, make some adjustments. Yeah, or turn it over.
And the reason why I know AD didn't picked up on it, because after he hit that buzzer beater, they had interviewed him, and he said, I was upset at myself
because I let him get to his spot.
He said I let him go to his strong side. And that's when Jokic backed him down and scored on him. He said, I let him go to his strong side. So I was already upset at myself. So that means they already know, it's on their scouting report that he's not comfortable going left.
Well, I know a lot of people don't realize it, and because it feels like this because we lost that game. But going into last night's game before we lost, the Lakers were actually on a 6-game winning streak in the playoffs, and 6 games in a row in the playoffs is actually pretty damn good. I know we actually were really hard on the team a lot, and I don't think any of us caught a sweep in this series. I don't think any of us caught.
I was moving towards it, but
I always said we're gonna do 4-1. I think all of them. I think it's gonna be 5 here, and I think it'll be 5 in the finals. Honestly, I think it's gonna take 5 games from here on out. But that also, like you said, it depends on if Vogel was able to get the league to fix what we all blatantly saw yesterday, which was crazy. Because somebody literally said, earlier, they're like, all right, y'all, the fix is in. Y'all can see it. Like, it was so ridiculous. And I've seen this. I'm in multiple sports groups on multiple blogs, and everybody was saying the same thing on every blog. And they wasn't just Laker fans. Like, they were just like, oh, I hope y'all know y'all losing tonight because check out what's happening.
I mean, league somebody got that memo not to close this out because they got to make as much money off this TV contract as much as possible. Because if the Lakers end this series Thursday, more than likely that other one gonna go to 7 to next week. The NBA Finals in about two weeks away.
Yeah,
a lot of dead time. So the league is hoping this will at least go 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping it goes 5. And speaking of, our predictions, like you said, Quincy, throughout this playoffs, when we had a bad game, we really do a good job of responding in kind the next game. I want y'all to give me y'all predictions for the next game, not just if we're gonna win or lose, but also what do you think are going to be the keys to us winning the next game? Like, what do you see happening in the next game that's going to get us back where we need to be? Brandon.
Well, you're going back to how you opened the show up with the 4 points, right? We got to start off with rebounding. Our bigs gotta find themselves closer to the rim. You know what I mean? Those switches are killing us. Whether we're like you said, Quincy said the bigs are away from the rim on those shots and they can't get the rebounds. We cannot get out rebounded by 17 in Game 4 and expect to win because LeBron. We're number 1 in the league, like Quincy said, in transition because that's LeBron. That's what LeBron does. We saw that during that 21-4 run. He's gonna get the ball and finish. So we got to get rebound. We cannot let their role players get hot. Talked about that point. The other point is what we talked about, just getting free throws. We just gotta, if Vogel's gonna do his coaching and he sent the film to the league or whatever the case is, we gotta be allowed the same amount of physicality that the Denver Nuggets are allotted in order for us to be, in the game. And when that happens, like we saw in Game 1, they're not going to be able to hang with us. So we can get those 3 things down. Free throw shooting is a wild card. We don't know. Are we gonna go 18 for 19? Or are we gonna go 10 for 12? Or 10 for 20? So yeah. That's just a wild card. But if we do those other 3 things, then free throws shouldn't play that big of a factor into it, as long as we're not just having a horrible night.
Quincy, points from you.
I think we got to play defense without fouling. I mean, I know we know that the referees had some part of that, but in the end, we still have to play. Don't get caught in bad mismatches, which causing people to get dumb and stupid fouls.
Right.
Because you get in the bonus early, that's going to dictate how you play defense the rest of the quarter.
Yeah.
So, playing defense without fouling because the way how Denver stays in games is on the free throw line. That's how they stay in games.
Yeah.
And then just coming out with intensity from the start. What they brought in that 4th quarter, if they start that game off tomorrow, like
with that intensity, yeah.
With that intensity, I think we'll be good. And then same thing, which was going to be probably the speech for the rest of the playoff with teams. If teams, Lakers need to go to the rack more and challenge Jokic more. I think that's how he got in foul trouble. Of course, also dealing with Dwight in that first game.
Yep.
So challenging him, and then guys got to hit open shots, man. It don't matter if you hit back-to-back 3-pointers in the first quarter. You got to hit them open ones in the second half.
Right. All points that I agree with, all points that I think we would need. Also, I think we would need AD and LeBron to give us a stellar performance tomorrow. I think we're going to need around 30 from each of them tomorrow because, like we say, as they go, the team goes. And when those guys are aggressive and they go into the rack, not 1, when 2, when both of them are aggressive and going to the rack, I think we become one of those unstoppable teams. But we have to be more aggressive in order to do that. Like you said, we got to stay out of the foul trouble because when you get into the foul trouble, that changes your aggression on the defensive end. And oddly, we were getting a lot of charges. So we actually got a lot of fouls on the offensive end yesterday too, like stuff that I usually wouldn't see called in playoff basketball, which was interesting to me. And also, Quincy, when you get a chance, can you send me what Vogel said about the refs? I want to see. I just want to look at exactly what he said.
And damn turnovers, man. They got 23 points.
Oh, I was gonna say that's one of the biggest points I forgot. We had.
And then it was like because I was paying attention to it. It was I think Rondo and LeBron
had 9 unforced turnovers, like unforced.
They had the Lakers had 16 turnovers. Rondo and LeBron had 10 of them.
Oh, so we only had 16 turnovers?
Yeah.
I thought it was another 20 turnover game.
But they were scoring off of them.
Yeah, they scored off all of them.
They scored 23 points off of them.
And you said LeBron and Rondo had how many?
They had 10 of the 16.
Yeah, like you can't have your point guards having 10 turnovers. That's just that's what I'm saying. Right. So we had those turnovers from our point guards. We had the rebound situation. We had the ref situation. We had Grant going for 25. Like I said, usually in games, it would be one of those factors that would stop you from winning, or one or two. We have 4 of those factors, and we actually were still in the game. And I don't think all 4 of that perfect storm of factors are going to happen again tomorrow. I don't know about the next game, but I feel like all of those factors are going to happen tomorrow.
And we needed to, sometimes winning when you continue to play bad is not a good thing, because you don't make corrections and that should become habits.
Yeah,
we got away with a lot of bad turnovers in game 2, and AD built us out. So, because really we didn't deserve that game. So I was kind of like, I wanted us to win, but then I was thinking they probably need to take this L.
So even when we came back, Ish said, he was like, even if we come back and win, we don't deserve to win this game.
Yeah. We didn't deserve to win that game, but you still want to, because like I said, once you get away with continue sloppy and bad play, you keep on winning. You don't make those corrections, then somebody get a hold to you and blow your ass out the gym.
Yeah.
And get you slipping. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, those are our predictions for tomorrow. I see a Laker win tomorrow. I see a Laker win, and I see big play from LeBron, because honestly, LeBron has probably only played 2 good quarters of basketball in this series thus far, in this whole series thus far. So I feel like we're going to see a better game from LeBron tomorrow. We're going to see a better game from Anthony Davis, and we're going to see a better game from our role players. I think we're going to, like you said, we're going to go into correction mode, Quincy, because we have been getting away with playing kind of terrible. Even going back to the last game of the Houston series, like we got away with a lot of lazy plays and stuff, but because we were able to pull it out. We had enough talent to pull it out. But this time,
and it's like unforced turn. It's like somebody driving to the rack, cut Kuz, let the ball hit his chest and pop out of bounds. It's like, come on,
yeah, and like Rondo dribbling, like just dribbling off his foot, or LeBron making these weird errant passes, like right in the middle where there's a bunch of traffic and trying to bounce past. I'm like, it was some weird turnovers yesterday, some really odd turnovers.
Yeah, but it was like that in game 2, and we got away with it. Okay, because you remember game 2, they had 23 turnovers, and I was like 18 was unforced.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, thank everybody for joining the show. Thank everybody for watching. This has been Worldwide Laker Talk. If you watch it on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Share with all your Laker fan friends. Share with all your Laker fan faithful. If you don't share it on your page, just go share it in the message boards and share it in the messenger. Share it everywhere. Let everybody know we have a Laker show by Laker fans for the Laker fans, where we talking Laker hoops all throughout the playoffs. And we're going to continue to talk Laker hoops, even if it's not as much throughout the offseason, especially when the offseason moves. The draft is coming up. After the draft, we got to get into free agency and all that. So please stick with us. Watch us on Worldwide Laker Talk. Like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know what it is. We will see y'all in a minute. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate the support.
It's about what doing it big or going home. I'm focused on my plan, in my mind in the zone. I wanna be one of the greatest that ever made it, one of the best that did it, coming with it. Understand this is all I think about, all I ever wanna do, all I ever work for. So ain't no giving up, and up to the limit just to win it is a must.